And it's a shame that it's happening to Floyd Mayweather. It's a shame that it's been happening for years to not only athletes but celebrities or people who are making tons of money because they're not managing their circle. They're not managing their life, you know? And it's your circle that's all important. You must hire people. If you're gonna hire people that are gonna look out for your money and you're gonna trust those people, well, you better check the checker. You know, the checker checks the checker.
At the end of it, I think he's gotten some bad advice. I think he's been led into some things that, you know, he didn't necessarily agree to.
Floyd does not have all of his properties. Now, if he means homes that he owns, then okay, sure. But he's also had to sell a lot of those homes to pay back loans that he made against said houses and other assets or liens that were against him with the IRS. This dude cannot stop lying. He also said, I don't owe anybody anything, or my bills are all paid.
Oscar de la Hoya mocked Floyd Mayweather over reports of a $7.3 million IRS debt, calling the situation surprising given the enormous fortune Floyd earned during his boxing career. De la Hoya suggested that questionable financial decisions, excessive spending, and surrounding himself with the wrong people may have contributed to the reported problems. His comments have added another layer to the growing debate over how Mayweather managed the massive wealth he accumulated throughout his career.
And it's funny you bring that up because I was thinking about a new segment that I want to come out with, giving advice to fighters or giving advice to athletes who come across a lot of money. And then what do you do with it? Then you have to hire people, you have to hire lawyers, you have to hire agents. So now you have all these people around you, right? And sometimes, and most likely, you hire people that eventually...
Can I say this to the person that's in my DM and say, Rose, you better make better moves or end up like Mayweather? First and foremost, do you actually believe Floyd Mayweather is broke? Do you? Do you? Let me make this clear right now.
De la Hoya also believes Floyd Mayweather should have been much more careful about who he trusted with his money. In his view, managing a fortune of that size requires a dependable team of experienced professionals who can protect assets, monitor business deals, and make sound financial decisions. He argues that having the right people around Mayweather could have helped prevent some of the financial problems and controversies now being discussed.
I hire somebody who's gonna look out for my finances. I've had my finance guy for 25 years, the same guy. And there's a reason for that, because somebody else is checking him and somebody else is checking that other guy. So you have to be smart.
I know for a fact Floyd Mayweather not broke because Ricky Rose would give and put 50 million up to Floyd Mayweather, 50 million up to Gervonta Davis, aka Tank, and I will book the Hard Rock Stadium myself. If Mayweather needed that 50, we can make that happen.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. is reportedly facing a $7.3 million federal tax lien from the IRS in Las Vegas, reportedly tied to unpaid taxes from 2018 and 2023. The issue comes as Mayweather continues to deal with other legal disputes and financial allegations. However, his legal team has denied claims that he is facing serious financial trouble. Meanwhile, Bob Arum said he feels saddened by the situation, praising Mayweather as an extraordinary fighter and a brilliant businessman who earned an enormous fortune. For Arum, seeing someone who achieved that level of financial success now dealing with tax-related issues is especially disappointing.
Floyd had a great career. He made a lot of money. But in his mind, that made him a great genius. Great business genius, great genius in life. And because he overrated life, he ran out of money. You can't, no matter how much money you have, you can't have 2 big planes, 10 security guards. It's going to cost you money. I mean, so again, I'm really sad to see that happen, but hopefully he'll get out of it. Hopefully he'll get...
I gave the sport a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get to this point. So, you know, I'm very, very thankful for for the support from people from all around the world, people from all walks of life. And, you know, I like going out and having fun.
Dana White, who has worked with Floyd Mayweather in the past, has also commented on the reports surrounding Floyd's financial situation. White expressed sympathy for what Mayweather may be dealing with and suggested that he could potentially help if there is a way to do so. He pointed out that it would be extremely unfortunate for someone who worked so hard to build a massive fortune to later lose a significant portion of it or have it allegedly taken from him. Meanwhile, former Showtime executive Steven Espinoza has addressed claims that Showtime owes Mayweather around $340 million. Espinoza suggested that poor financial advice and questionable money management by people within Floyd's circle may have contributed to some of the problems now being discussed.
Through your mind, did you immediately call Floyd or what?
I didn't, because it's, at that point, you sort of assume, like, he knows what's going on, like, this doesn't happen in his name without him knowing about it.
Yes.
So, no, like, I didn't think that there was a whole lot of point, like, saying, hey, what is this?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, it speaks for itself. All right, that's what we're doing now.
Right.
Okay, that's what we're doing. So,
Right, so do you think that Floyd realized, okay, I'm missing money, I owe money, where's my money at? And he just had to sue everyone involved? Or someone is telling him, I think it was Showtime, or I think it was this person, your former manager, your former this.
I think they're two different situations. Like, everyone sort of saw the two lawsuits and say, okay, they're the same thing. I think someone told him, you should sue Showtime.
Because of his long professional association with Floyd at Showtime, Espinoza said he was familiar with both Mayweather's boxing career and the business dealings surrounding it. He added that if he had been directly involved in the legal dispute, he would have preferred to help Floyd rather than simply remain on the sidelines. According to Espinoza, their years of working together gave him valuable insight into the background of the disagreement and the circumstances that eventually led to the lawsuit.
Whatever it's due mid-June.
Right.
And then you send your money in, and then they don't report it back to us till July. Right. So all of a sudden, at the earliest that we see it is a couple months later. But then there's also, there's sort of middlemen in between that this guy has to report to this company because, for example, if you've got Comcast or Charter or some of these, there's local systems that report to the main company, and then the main company reports to Showtime. So there's sort of delays along the line. And it's a crazy system because it wasn't unusual that 6 months, 12 months down the road, like all of a sudden we'd get a big check from DirecTV or satellite company just because money was delayed.
The controversy surrounding Floyd Mayweather's former business circle continues to grow, with more financial disputes now attracting attention. Reports on X claim that Manny Pacquiao's promotional chief has filed a lawsuit reportedly seeking around $30 million against Floyd's former manager, alleging fraud and theft. If accurate, the case would add another significant financial dispute involving individuals who were previously connected to Mayweather's boxing career and business operations. Boxing analyst Wade Plemons has also questioned how effectively Floyd managed the enormous wealth he accumulated outside the ring. Plemons pointed out an interesting contrast. During Mayweather's career, bettors were willing to place enormous amounts of their own money on Floyd's ability to win, largely because of his reputation as one of the most difficult fighters to defeat. Yet years later, questions continue to surround how Mayweather handled and protected his personal fortune. Plemons ultimately suggested that Floyd's biggest financial achievements came directly from boxing, while some of his ventures away from the sport may not have produced the same level of success.
Also been accused in lawsuits of failing to pay for millions of dollars worth of luxury items, including watches and high-end jewelry, allegations he has disputed. Well, not just allegations anymore. He's being charged with 2 felonies for not paying for, or at least writing a bad check for, a watch in Vegas as well. So on all fronts here, Floyd Mayweather is flat out lying, saying, well, my properties are paid for. Again, if he's talking about his houses, sure, your houses are still there, even though, again, he sold 2 houses in Beverly Hills and in Miami to pay 2 of his real estate partners. So why lie about it when we have the proof? It's there. Why? I don't understand. Floyd used to be able, and this is, by the way, shout out to Spencer Cornelia because he hit this right on the head. He nailed this. pause. He said that Floyd will do this, where he will create a narrative, and because he is a massive superstar, his words are taken as truth. When in reality, we now have the truth, the burden of truth.
Plemons believes Mayweather's success outside of boxing has not matched the incredible achievements he produced inside the ring. However, he says that does not necessarily take anything away from Floyd's legacy, because boxing was clearly his strongest field and the place where he proved himself most successful. Plemons also points to the extraordinary confidence bettors had in Mayweather, noting that his reputation as a reliable winner allowed people to wager huge amounts of money while accepting relatively small payouts. His broader point is that Floyd demonstrated an exceptional ability to generate enormous wealth through boxing. The bigger question, according to Plemons, is how effectively that fortune was managed and protected after it had already been earned.
And some than Floyd pulling out equity in his home to take out a loan to try to pay somebody back, or using his home as collateral to take out a loan to then not pay the person back. That's the most true thing about Floyd Mayweather's entire career. He is the best boxer of this current day and age, and it's the one thing he's done better than anything ever. In business, anything. He has not run any successful business. He has not made any more money than when he is in that squared circle. Point blank, period. And that's not a bad thing. That's just what he's best at. But Floyd Money Mayweather,
Floyd Mayweather continues to reject claims that he is facing serious financial problems, insisting that his financial obligations are still being handled. In a recent interview, he pointed out that he still owns his houses and other major assets, while emphasizing that his family's bills continue to be paid. Mayweather also highlighted the fact that his employees and other people who depend on him are still receiving their payments. By pointing to his properties, family expenses, and ongoing business responsibilities, Floyd argues that his financial situation remains under control despite the growing speculation and reports surrounding his money.
So a lot of people are saying you're doing this just cause of the money. Is it just cause money, or just what you want to do?
Well, as you know, I mean, nobody has taken none of my properties away from me.
Right. So the truth. One more question. I'm gonna let you finish.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the paper. Let's go back to the paper.
Right.
You know, I was thinking about something, right?
Yep. You doing very great.
And a lot of times, hold on, let me film.
Yeah.
Okay, so check this out.
Yep.
Now, when you really think about this, right? We got our people, meaning the black community.
Yep.
These people have been paying money for years to come see me fight.
Yep.
These people will pull equity out of their house, bet their life savings, and they bet it on Floyd because I proved that I'm 100%.
However, the lawsuit and reported tax records present a much more complicated picture of Floyd Mayweather's financial situation. A federal tax lien gives the U.S. government a legal claim against certain property until an outstanding tax obligation is resolved, and reports suggest that this is not Mayweather's first major dispute with the IRS. He previously faced a reported $22.5 million lien connected to his 2015 taxes, along with another lien of roughly $7.2 million related to his 2010 tax obligations. More recently, reports have raised questions about more than $7 million in unpaid federal taxes connected to 2018 and 2023, further increasing scrutiny around his finances. Some reports have even claimed that the IRS warned Mayweather about possible restrictions involving his U.S. passport if the alleged tax debt remained unresolved. All of this has attracted attention because Mayweather's career earnings have been estimated at more than $1 billion, making the reports difficult for many fans to understand. Cam Newton has also weighed in, questioning how a fighter who generated such enormous wealth could reportedly encounter financial pressure. Newton pointed toward Floyd's well-known spending habits, including luxury cars, designer brands, expensive jewelry, high-end travel, and numerous business ventures. He also referenced claims that Mayweather has spent as much as $500,000 in a single day. Critics argue that even a billion-dollar fortune can come under pressure when spending remains extremely high for years, while Mayweather continues to insist that his financial affairs remain under control.
Mayweather, it don't matter who he identified himself to be. My question comes in, as I look at his career, I don't want to talk about the earnings because that's not something that I want to point out. I don't even want to talk about the splurging because he gave off this lifestyle that was not realistic for a lot of people to obtain.
Yes.
My question is, Why hasn't he ever aligned with a brand? Or let's flip it. Why hasn't a brand ever aligned with him? I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
So when you think about boxing,
Okay.
names that come to fruition come to mention is Oscar De La Hoya.
Yep.
Oscar De La Hoya is the face or the owner, creator, CEO of Golden Boy Promotions. Well, Mayweather Promotions, not a lot of people have aligned with that. You got Devin Haney that has spoke bitter